How's it going, guys? My name is Seafoods, and this is my roulette slash stake slash whatever gambling website that you use, Crash. This is like my strategy, I guess you could call it. And pretty much I'm just going to be going over everything that's on this page and trying to explain it. It's hard for me to explain because I don't really know how to explain it very well. The math all works. I can't explain it probably to a full extent as somebody else could. It all makes sense like in my head, right? But I just can't really get the words out. It's not too complicated by any means. Anyway. This is a chart showing all of the numbers between 1.2 and 6.8 between, and then 10 to 28. So the amount of times that it is crashed on that number, it's just like a calculator. So your loss, so how many times it is hit less than 1.2 would be 1,441 out of like 7,000 points. And your win would be $1,226. It's obviously more, but because of the way the math does it, it makes it all just work out perfectly. So this box is counting if this range right here has a value less than 1.19, because if it hits 1.2, it's a win, right? So you have to do it 0.01 less because it's the smallest number that you could pull from it. And so that's counting if that's less than that. That gives you 1,400. And then this one is counting if this range is greater than 1.2, and then it's multiplying that value. So it's counting if this one is giving it a value of 1, if it's greater than 1.2, and then multiplying it by 0.02, which would be your profit of would be your profit of 20 cents, right? Because if you did $1, you get 20 cents cashing out at 1.2, which would net you on $1,700, $214.6 in a loss on 1.2. And you can go down the list and you can look at all the different ones. And like 2.3, it gives you minus 306. So if you just cashed out every time on a certain number, you're never going to win. The statistics show that you will not win. And so you can't win like that, but you have this thing called on loss increase calculator, and my calculator, but on loss increase, and they have it on them, and you can set up your auto bet to do it. And if you go through and you figure out what to cash out at with how much money and at what percent for your increase, there's numbers that make money. The hardest part of this strategy is being able to manage your risk. Risk is a really big thing with this because you have to be able to manage this thing, especially with the way that I do it at 4.6. You have to be able to manage this thing missing probably 30 to 40 times. I mean, the odds say that it should hit 25.55% of the time, which 1 in 4. So you lose 3, hit 1, lose 3, hit 1. That's technically how this should work. But because of the RNG of this, it doesn't. And so this is pretty much just like a backup to, instead of like losing your ass on if you only did 4.6, you just increase it. And so this just does a simple calculation of what multiply this by that. I'll show you that in a second. But what my strategy is 33% on 4.6, cash out at 4.6. 4.6 obviously doesn't pay the best, but you can go a very long way with only using 33%, cashing out at 4.6. Like I said, you can go a long way before. So this column right here is how much money you will have to lose before you win again. So if you lose 28 times, you'll be in the hole for $118 before you hit again. But let's just say you did hit on that 28th time, you'd make $16.76 on top of whatever you would earn back into your total profit. So this number right here is just this number. So the previous number before multiplied by the percent plus this number, which gives you this number. and that's how that works. And then this number right here is how much you would make if it hit your cash out price, right, at 4.6. So if it missed 50 times, you'd be up to 15 grand a play. 15 grand. Again, this starts out with a penny. If it misses 15 times, you'd be at 15 grand. You'd make 71.6k. And to get that number, it's just this number multiplied by that number, like I said. And then this number is just this number minus this number minus this number plus this number. Gives you that number. Sounds complicated, but that's how this works. And so that's how you can go down the list and figure out how much your money you're going to make. And then this number is just this number minus this number. Because then that number gives, this number is just everything added. So from here up, it's just everything added together to give you this number. Right? So, but the hardest thing of this, because this strategy works, it really, really does. Like, I promise, go on Crash, start out with like 0.6 zeros and then 1 ETH. You know what I mean? Like, just make that number like less than a penny and just see how it works. Start with like $20, because if it blows up your $20, I'm wrong, right? But in my experience, it's probably going to hit between 20 to 30 times. So if you can manage this risk, so from anywhere from $12 to $209, I would probably say you'd probably be a little safer around 35, 40 if you could manage this. I know it's not a lot because you're going to be making 4 cents on like nothing. It's just very small increases, right? But it's if you can somehow have the balance to slowly increase it, you'll make money. And I have proven time and time again to myself. I mean, I haven't proved anything to anybody on shit, but just try it out. 4.6 with your starting with a penny with a 33% increase, and tell me what that chart looks like. It should, when you pull up that P&L, it should look like a pretty solid straight line. And so what happens with the chart is that you'll win, and then you'll lose, and then you'll keep losing, and so then that line will just keep exponentially getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the downside until you hit again. And then, but when you hit again, every time that you hit, you will make more money than what you've had in your account previously. And so, like this one right here, dude, if you would have missed 10 times, it hits on the 10th, you'd make 13 cents, right? I mean, it's not whoop-de-doo, but I mean, you started with a penny, you know, so you almost like it when it hits. I mean, when it misses, but like, you don't want it to miss so many times in a row that it blows you up. You just, like I said, this works. You just have to be able to manage your risk. I'll show you this again. I mean, you have to be able to manage your risk. And I mean, dude, if this thing can miss 40 times for you, and if you have the money in your account, I mean, dude, you're going to be walking away with $500. You know what I mean? It exponentially grows. It works. Just give it a shot and tell me what you guys find with these two numbers. I'm not going to give this out. I showed you guys all the numbers and how the formula works. I'm not going to give this chart out because I worked my ass off on it. And if you want it, you're probably going to have to pay me for it. I'll do it for $5. Comment if you want it. $5 for this chart. You can have all this shit. But it definitely works. Give it a shot. Just, man, please. This is the biggest thing. This, like, numbers, cool. Money, gain, sweet. Manage your fucking risk. It's not a joke. I don't know if you guys have ever done day trading before, but the number one thing you hear is manage your risk. So manage your risk, please. There is no way that this is 100% going to work for everybody. So please don't come at me and say that you lost $1,000 because you started at $1 and you just didn't think on how that works. So like, let's just try this. Just starting at $1, 4.6, just so then everybody can't get mad at me if this is what they do. If it misses 11 times in a row and you started with $100, you're going to be really pissed off. Anyway, have a good day.